Ready?
Let's go.
Okay. Rolling. Hello. Welcome to In the Court of the Wenton King. I was going to say something funny then and I can't remember what it was. Never mind. Yes, Baldric. The Renaissance was just something that happened to other people, wasn't it? Yeah, turn of cards. Turn of cards. Proper symphonic prog. And that means a much harder sound than the previous one. I like saying that's quite funny. Insert Metallica joke here or whatever. Harder sound? What? But it is. It's darker. There's no hippie strumming. There is strumming, but it's just embellishment. It's just accompaniment. There's one thing on there which is a song in that sense, but it's proper prog. I think there's no pop on that. It does depend what you mean by pop. Obviously, there's songs and there's singing and there's melodies, but that doesn't make it pop. I don't think it's pop. I think the comparison with ELPs is the thing to do. We didn't really do that last week, and it really occurred to me reviewing them how Ashes Are Burning, that link isn't there yet, and then suddenly on this one it's much more. But it's an interesting one. Keyboard-based music, European influences. You've got orchestra, big structured pieces centered around the keyboards, but no synths. Thank you very much. Meow meow meow. That's what we said when we reviewed ELP. Can't you just play the piano? It'd be so much better. And there's more to it than that. You have to remember that Keith, not Keith Relf, the other Keith Emerson, the mighty Keith Emerson, he was influenced by Hendrix. He's Removal Man from Hell routine with the organ and a lot of that was about the show rather than the music. There's a link that it's not clear because some of the time he would actually play. He could play the theme to Pictures and Exhibition with the organ feedback balanced on a corner going. But still. So he wanted to do. Keith Emerson wanted to do the Euro thing and the wild playing of Hendrix as well. That was the idea of what they were doing. Whereas this isn't that at all. This is much more polite. That's the way to put it. It is a lot like ELP, but it's polite. And that's the thing, actually. Okay, so it's definitely prog rock, isn't it? But Frank Zappa said he's not prog rock because so much of what he plays isn't actually rock, progressive. And this is actually, think about it, this isn't really rock either, really. I don't hear any rock on this at all. It's got a bass and it's got some drumming. But is that rock? I don't know. It's prog. Progressive something. Not really prog rock, maybe? I don't know. So in one sense of what prog is, it is the purest prog. No pop, integrates all those European influences into one recognisable whole, a bit like the EU, it's the whole Europeanness in one place, one centralised thing. Loads of piano, loads of squeaky clean vocals that are perfect pitch, etc. Some people would hate this.
They'd listen to it with a frown. And they go, "Oh, I bloody hate this. Why am I listening to this? Turn it off." Yeah, but not me. Yeah, so where's it developed from last week? Last week was definitely film music in comparison. There was something sort of, I don't know why I say that. This is definitely not film music.
Yeah.
This is sort of like a level above film
because
music.
it's darker and it's much more in your face, isn't it, and harder.
Yeah, but it's lovely piano, Kev.
It is.
Lovely bits of piano, lovely voice. I bloody love her voice. I mean, it is, for me, it is like the 60s in a can.
Yeah, and I call it
such
70s.
a thing. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It seems 60s folk. And you talk about ELP. I mean, I started thinking there was moments on things I don't understand.
Yes.
Where I thought she sounded a bit like John Anderson, actually. You mentioned John Anderson last week.
Yeah, well, I think things I don't understand. There are moments that sound a lot like Yes.
Yeah.
You've got harmony vocals, and you've got the and you and I kind of.
Yeah, and as soon as I made that connection, I thought, well, actually, yeah, there's some Rick Wakeman style cool stuff going on the piano, only it doesn't sound horrific. It's actually done on a piano, which sounds really, really good. This, and by the end of it, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed when I thought, great first 2 tracks. Oh no, we've run out of ideas. What are we going to do with the voice? Because I mean, yeah, voice is beautiful, but I mean, there's only so much you can do with it. And they start harmonising it with one of the guys.
Yes.
And she starts doing the John Anderson things I don't understand type type crap.
Well, here's the thing about that song.
Yeah.
It's written by Jim McCarty, the Yardbirds drummer. It's like the last song from the past. And I think you can hear it in there. You could hear how they would have done it as like Yardbirdsy early Renaissance thing with a plinky. And they've turned it into a big thing.
By the end of the song, I absolutely won over. I mean, flipping out, that's great. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is what Yes should be listening to. This is what they should be aiming for.
Well, they were. I mean, it was Yes, and people like that who were recommending them and having them on tour. This is good.
Yeah. This is great. I mean, honestly, this is fantastic.
It's proper. Do you remember when we did at PFM?
Yeah.
We said it's proper. This is like
it is proper. There is sort of a thing about, I mean, ELP and Yes, you kind of get there's something behind the music that they're striving for, especially with Steve Howe and John Anderson in Yes. They're sort of the hippie type thing with big ideas, you know. I don't sense there is anything behind the music in that sense with Renaissance. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's because they've been thrown together. Well, not thrown together, but I mean, you know, they're sort of been almost manufactured, whether, you know, that loses kind of a bit of a, you know, a focus and a direction.
I think there probably is a progress, but
I think that's coming from the individual's taste, though. You know, it really is sort of like a mix of individuals' tastes, rather than a sort of an overarching thing that they're trying to achieve.
But it's less of a hippie thing, isn't it?
It's
a musical thing. And I think maybe because it is more conservative. You know, you could say that in that it's if Berkeley graduates or Birmingham Conservatoire graduates, the best
graduates in the world,
made a prog band in 1975. That's what it would have sounded like.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have sounded like Nurse with Wound or Henry Cow or something. It would have sounded like that. So it is, in that sense, conservative, and there's no wildness. There's no at the end. You know? I think Mother Russia, it's good. Being at the end of the album leads to expectation.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't quite.
It shouldn't do really, because I mean there are equal length songs.
Yes.
On the album, I don't think it is meant as that sort of thing, is it?
No, I think you're right. Yeah, it's just a song, a good song.
Yeah. Okay,
when I got this many years ago. This is the first Renaissance album I got when I was many years ago. My whole family sat down and listened to this for some reason. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Why? I don't know why. And I was thinking, well, I must have been like 13, because that was the only time we would have all listened to an album I bought. When I just discovered rock music, you know, I was thinking, why was I listening to Renaissance when I was listening to metal? But it's not, because it says there's a sticker on it. It says 2002. Mr. Kevin Marriott. I had to order this from HMV, but that 2000. So I was still very much towards the end of my searching for prog era, and I ordered it from HMV. It's a strange thing to do. I don't know why I did that, and you can see because the sticker is in the middle. It's like they've just stuck it over it, like, stop that from happening. So that's strange. But yeah, the whole family sat and listened to this. And I was amazed at it made them angry.
Really?
Yeah, they hated it. Oh, this singing's terrible. It's so bad. Remember this? I was going to say it was in the 90s. It wasn't. It was 2002.
That's strange, that is.
I do not know. I don't get it. But my explanation was, there's no pop, and it's not what rock music is supposed to sound like, and it doesn't sound like wild, crazy stuff. So what is it?
So you can't pigeonhole it.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because at the
I
moment,
mean-
I think
As I was listening to it, I was thinking, oh, my mum would probably quite enjoy this. Maybe she wouldn't. Don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, that is not supposed to exist under the British music press junta, controlled by they control the UK, and they did control the UK. The British music press had a lot of power. Maybe people who live in other parts of the world might not be quite aware of. It wasn't like that anywhere else in the world. They had the power to tell people to stop buying things and tell them to stop buying this thing, and it worked. And that didn't work. Certainly in the US, it's a much slower. It's a bigger place and it's a slower process, so it wasn't possible to do it. Second time they used an orchestra, much more integrated into the sound. The orchestra's part of the music, whereas before it was just an embellishment, I think. Neoclassical is the easy term to use. Running Hard references litanies by the French composer Jehan Alain. Cold is Being, is something called Adagio in D minor, the saddest of all keys.
Spinal Tap reference.
Yeah.
I understand that now.
Tommaso Albioni. The reason that's relevant is that Yngwie Malmsteen used the same melody on his first album. Do, 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 obviously on a guitar with wild vibrato. So that's interesting, because when Malmsteen did it, he didn't credit it at all. I think this one, it's credited to the composer guy, I think, but with thanks to this guy. But he wrote the melody actually, and it is just the melody, it's just her singing it with some. So, yeah. So in terms of the prog journey, this is. Put it here. Yeah, this is the Selling England or the Close to the Edge. They're here. They've got it, but they haven't done their magnum opus yet. And that's either a good thing or a bad thing, isn't it? Thankfully, it's a good thing, but we'll come to that. But that when people say Renaissance, they mean this band, and they can't. I don't think it's that famous their album, but really they mean that music on that album. I think that style, that's what they mean. But I think, like with Foxtrot, you'd start with Ashes Are Burning. You wouldn't start with this one. Like you shouldn't really start with Selling England. You should start with Foxtrot. So yeah, Mother Russia. This is a bit weird. It's a tribute to Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who was exiled from Russia in the 70s. Okay, you think, okay, that's a long time ago. But this was the 70s. It was contemporary politics, 1974. This was a guy who had been, big political exile from the communist regime and all that. What that's very funny because of the lyricist's name is Mrs. Thatcher. And you start to think, ooh, hang on, what's this about? But I think, unfortunately, Annie Haslam had to spend a whole career explaining, even though she didn't write the lyrics. But the guy wrote, although the guy was exiled like a year before this, he wrote a book about how awful Russia is, Mother Russia, and it was so the song is about the book of what the guy was saying, not about the political situation. It's a literary thing, isn't it? And I thought that was a good subject for a song. So yeah,
that does sound incredibly close to a Yes type thing.
A Yes type thing. But yes, just write gibberish.
Yeah, based and then say this is because of this book.
Oh, okay. Some of it is, yeah, and some of it's just gibberish.
Yeah.
At least it's not an ancient Buddhist text. Cover is Warwick Castle, which is of no interest to anyone unless you're. It's like 20 miles away. So that's pretty cool. That's the castle is right next to us.
I've never been to Warwick Castle.
I've never been inside. I've actually got in the car to drive there and gone to Kenilworth Castle instead, which is nearer and cheap. But it's not a ruin. Kenilworth Castle is the ruin. It's a big commercial, expensive thing.
I like Warwick as well. It's a very nice place.
one of our best universities as well. Terrible cover. Although it's a picture of Warwick Castle. That's the cards. Tarot cards. Don't go there. And then pictures of the band as well, which is always a terrible idea. But I suppose actually it's not as bad as the previous album cover. It's just pictures of the band. I don't think they had any good album covers. Maybe Illusion. Maybe. Yeah, for me this is 5 eggs because there's so much great stuff in there. I love the little piano overture at the start. In fact, Running Hard might be the best thing on there. Black Flame should have been a single, I think, because it's just great. And it is kind of rock music, maybe, in a sense, you know. So yeah, 5 eggs because it's really good.
Oh, I'm a 5 egger on this as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I bloody loved it. Great stuff.
Good.
What a suggestion from our patron.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm sure when we started doing these videos, I thought of, I should do Renaissance. And
We'll do that.
200 episodes later, I've forgotten about it. So yeah, thank you very much from our Patreon, www.patreon.com/WentonKing. If you want to buy us a coffee, thank you very much. If you don't want to pay, that's also groovy. That's kind of the YouTube thing.
Yep.
So either way, don't be angry. Actually, no one's been angry about the Patreon.
No, I'm quite surprised about that. People got very upset about the sometimes sad stuff.
Yeah, great. So yeah, should we talk about stuff we're doing on the video?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so we've already done a commentary for a bit of King Crimson 73. We'll put that out maybe next week or yeah. And the idea is you'll play the King Crimson video and play our commentary as well. So we're going to put it up as MP3, aren't we? From the Patreon website, downloadable MP3. And you'll press play when we tell you. We'll play the MP3, and on the MP3 we say, right, press play now to the King Crimson 73 footage. It's just an experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll try it. After you've tried it, tell us what you think. Was that too much trouble to have to play two things at once? I did wonder about
it's going to be a bit difficult on a phone. But hardcore, you know, King Crimson and Wenton King fans will have a desktop and they'll be able to make it work.
Yeah. Or you know, if you play the Blu-ray on your TV, you'd put it on your phone, I suppose. Put us on your phone, and then press play when we say on the TV. I suppose. But you'd have to have the volume down, obviously, to hear us on your phone. So that's the new thing. We're going to do Supper's Ready as well. The Shepperton footage, we're going to do that next. So we'll try that as well. Let us know if you think it's a good idea or ideas. Let us know. The other thing is, of course, requests. Obviously, our Patreon people can make requests. We've had a couple of requests by comment from our Patreon people, which we'll talk about off air. Have we had any other requests lined up on the actual Patreon? I'm not sure we have.
I don't think we have, actually.
Right. So yeah, there are 2 more requests that have been in the comments section. So we'll talk about that off air, because otherwise it won't be a surprise for most people. So yeah, thank you very much. See you soon.